Hey y'all, let's talk about Chainlink. I think it's obvious if you've been around crypto y'all long enough that Chainlink specifically is my favorite large cap token. That being said, today I want to look at GLINK, which is the Grayscale Link Trust. And why I want to look at this is kind of a breadcrumb on the trail to kind of help us look ahead, because it's one thing to go, all right, should I sell and take profits today, without knowing truly the runway ahead of us. And this is my thesis. You need to develop your own thesis, but in order to develop a thesis, you need data, not just opinions. And so one of the biggest validating pieces of data that I think we can find is some of these traditional financial institutions like Grayscale. And if you're familiar with Grayscale, Grayscale is one of the 11 or one of the 12 hedge funds. It's the largest asset manager on earth in terms of Bitcoin holdings, or at least it was until the Bitcoin ETF started trading. And if you'll remember, the reason why Bitcoin just didn't go through the moon when the ETF started trading 26 days ago is because Grayscale had been selling GBTC for years, which is a security, a stock that traditional money can buy through their brokerages and have exposure to Bitcoin without holding Bitcoin. That's basically what a trust, or in this case, a securities trust, actually is. So GLINK is the same thing, but it's different. Here's how it's different. The GBTC, the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, was selling shares at a discount. So if I wanted to put $100 in Bitcoin, I could actually go put $100 in GBTC and have exposure to about $160 in Bitcoin by buying. So I was getting a discount. I was buying more Bitcoin exposure with GBTC than I was buying Bitcoin and holding it myself. Okay. So once that transition to an ETF happened, they had to close that gap. And closing that gap meant they had to sell Bitcoin in order to compensate the holders for their GBTC. Okay, that's a mouthful, but hear me out. Now we have GLINK, and there are dozens of these. Grayscale has tons of these. You can go find other securities, trusts for other large caps in crypto. But look at the price. Currently, the price of GLINK is $91.90. As of this recording, the price of actual Chainlink is $19.48, okay? You can read this on Grayscale's website. Grayscale Chainlink Trust is one of the first securities solely passively invested in Chainlink that enables investors to gain exposure to Link in the form of securities and avoiding the challenges of buying, storing, and safekeeping. Okay, so great for personalities that aren't crypto saturated, but they want the exposure. Here's what I want to show you. If we scroll down to performance, the NAV is the net asset value. It's actually kind of like a real estate metric where it's the way they calculate the net asset value per share is by dividing the assets under management by the shares outstanding. So they only have 321,000 shares outstanding, and there's about 5.9 million in assets under management. And my whole thesis here is, if you want to go buy, if you're not a crypto bro and you don't want to do Coinbase and you don't want to have a wallet and you're just like, I don't know, talking to your Grayscale advisor or whoever your financial advisor is, and you've got a brokerage account and you're like, so I don't know who these people are that are buying GLINK, but it's not the normies on the street is my contention. My contention is that it's smart money who doesn't want to fiddle around with crypto wallets and self-custody. They want to just keep it all in their brokerage account, Fidelity, whatever, and they just say, hey, I want exposure to GLINK. And if they and the thing about it is the price performance of GLINK, had they done that in 2022, you can see GLINK also was consolidating but trading at a premium, while Link actually was the NAV, which is the relative price of Link, was still suffocating or consolidating for over 500 days. But you can see if you were investing in GLINK, you made your money and you made it sooner than anyone else. Okay, so what do I mean? I mean, gosh, guys, retail money's not even here yet. Institutional money's not even here yet. And Chainlink's at 19.4 in the real world is what I'll call it. But if GLINK is trending north of 85 at $90 today, it hit $95 yesterday, then what does that tell us? Is it a future pacing mechanism? And so this is where a big part of my conviction and price target for Chainlink comes from. My bear case for Chainlink is $80. Bear case. And I bet we see GLINK go beyond $100 very shortly. So there's a 7 minutes or less video on just some really pertinent Chainlink data. Hope that's helpful with your thesis.